If you've ever watched The Shining and felt a chill crawl up your spine as that river of blood flooded the hotel hallway, brace yourself, because Antarctica has a version that's entirely real. Deep in the frozen south, there's a glacier that bleeds. Yes, you watched that right. Amid all the pristine white silence, nature decided to paint one of its glaciers blood red just to keep things interesting. This is Blood Falls, a phenomenon so strange and captivating that it feels like the planet itself is pulling a spooky prank on science. A scene straight out of a sci-fi thriller. Picture yourself standing in the endless white expanse of East Antarctica, where the air bites harder than your ex's last text, and the silence is so complete it hums. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a gush of red spills from a glacier's face, staining the ice like a giant paintbrush dipped in crimson. It's eerie, it's magnificent, and it looks like the aftermath of a polar horror movie. The source of this spectacle is Taylor Glacier, located in the McMurdo Dry Valleys, one of the most hostile environments on Earth. Here, against all logic, a small waterfall of red brine trickles out, an image so hauntingly beautiful it's been dubbed one of nature's strangest wonders. The Curious Case of Griffith Taylor. This frozen drama was first discovered back in 1911 by Australian geologist Griffith Taylor, a member of the doomed Terra Nova expedition led by Robert Falcon Scott. While most of his team was busy trying to survive Antarctica's deadly chill, Taylor stumbled upon what looked like a glacier that had sprung a leak, a red one. Understandably puzzled, he concluded that the color must come from red algae. It was a logical guess for someone who didn't have access to 21st century lab equipment or, modern chemistry. As it turns out, Taylor was only half right. The redness wasn't from anything alive on the surface, but from something far more complex and much older, lurking deep beneath the ice. Why the glacier bleeds. For decades, scientists scratched their heads trying to understand why a glacier in one of the coldest places on Earth seemed to be bleeding. The mystery endured until researchers discovered that the water seeping out of Taylor Glacier wasn't fresh meltwater at all, but a dense, iron-rich brine trapped below the surface for nearly 2 million years. When this brine finally escapes through cracks and meets oxygen for the first time in millennia, the iron reacts with the air and oxidizes. In plain terms, it rusts. The result is that striking blood-red color, turning the pure white ice into something out of a Gothic novel. In short, Blood Falls is not bleeding at all. It's rusting in the most dramatic way possible. The hidden plumbing beneath the ice. Until recently, most scientists thought glaciers were solid blocks of ice like gigantic frozen boulders. But Taylor Glacier, ever the rebel, hides a secret plumbing system beneath its surface. Using radio echo sounding technology and a nifty device called the ice mole, researchers discovered a vast network of hypersaline rivers and subglacial reservoirs flowing around 400 meters below the ice. These rivers are 3 times saltier than the ocean and remain liquid even in the face of Antarctica's cruel temperatures. This subsurface system traces its origins to an ancient saline lake that formed about 5 million years ago, when East Antarctica was periodically flooded by the sea. Over time, as the continent froze, the lake became trapped under layers of ice, creating a hidden world that still pulses quietly beneath the glacier. The science of staying liquid in a deep freeze. Now, you might wonder how any liquid can exist under an ice sheet where temperatures regularly dip far below freezing. The answer lies in chemistry and physics teaming up for a survival act. The brine's extreme saltiness lowers its freezing point, meaning it stays liquid when ordinary water would turn solid. Add to that the immense pressure from the overlying glacier, which keeps the water from crystallizing, and you've got a recipe for a persistent, flowing underground stream. And as if that weren't enough, As the water partially freezes, it releases small amounts of heat, a natural anti-freeze effect that keeps the rest from solidifying completely. The result is a self-sustaining system of salty, rusty water that has been flowing beneath Taylor Glacier for over 1 million years without ever seeing the sun. Life in the dark. As if the story wasn't already strange enough, scientists eventually discovered that this subterranean brine isn't just chemically active, it's biologically alive. Beneath that glacier of frozen silence, entire colonies of microbes are thriving in complete darkness, without oxygen or sunlight. These microscopic extremophiles have adapted to survive by using iron and sulfur compounds in the water as their source of energy. Essentially, they're living off rust and sulfates, proving that life really can find a way, even in places that seem utterly inhospitable. When researchers from the University of Tennessee analyzed samples from blood falls, they found 17 distinct types of microbes that had been isolated from the outside world for over 1 million years. That's not just survival, that's microbial stubbornness on an epic scale. Blood falls, a liquid time capsule. Because this water has been sealed off for so long, scientists call blood falls a liquid time capsule. Studying it offers an extraordinary glimpse into what life on Earth might have looked like hundreds of millions of years ago, before oxygen dominated our atmosphere. These microbes live in conditions similar to early Earth's oceans, when primitive life forms first began experimenting with chemical energy instead of sunlight. By examining their metabolism, researchers can trace ancient evolutionary strategies and better understand how life adapted during the planet's early years. Blood Falls, then, is more than a creepy spectacle. It's a living museum frozen in time. The Martian Connection, the discoveries beneath Taylor Glacier, have also sent astrobiologists into a frenzy, because if microbes can survive under a glacier in Antarctica, they might be able to live beneath the icy crusts of other planets and moons. The environment under Blood Falls shares remarkable similarities with what scientists believe exists beneath the surface of Mars, Europa, and Titan. These distant worlds are believed to have subsurface oceans rich in salts and minerals, perfect habitats for hardy chemistry-powered microbes like the ones thriving under Taylor Glacier. So, in a way, the key to discovering extraterrestrial life might lie not in the stars, but in this rusty waterfall at the end of the Earth. It's like Antarctica accidentally built a test lab for aliens, nature's creepy masterpiece. Despite its scientific importance, Blood Falls is also visually stunning, in a slightly unsettling way. Against the blinding white backdrop of Antarctica, the crimson flow stands out like spilled paint on a blank canvas. It's both eerie and mesmerizing, a vivid reminder that nature has a flair for drama. The first explorers who saw it probably felt a mix of awe and mild panic, wondering whether they'd just stumbled into a polar crime scene. Even today, photos of Blood Falls tend to circulate online with captions like "Antarctica's bleeding glacier," as if the continent itself were wounded. But behind that chilling beauty is a reminder of nature's complexity and creativity. The planet's way of saying, "You thought you'd seen it all? Think again." A journey for the bold. If this crimson wonder has piqued your curiosity enough to make you consider visiting, you'll need more than a plane ticket. Lifeblood from the planet's ancient past. For scientists, it's a window into the origins of life on Earth. For the rest of us, it's proof that the natural world still knows how to surprise us. The next time you think our planet has no mysteries left, just remember, there's a glacier in Antarctica that's been quietly bleeding for over a century, and it's doing it beautifully. And that, my curious explorers, is the story of Antarctica's Blood Falls, a glacier that literally bleeds iron and hides a million-year-old secret beneath the ice. If you enjoyed diving into this frosty mystery, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and remember, the world's strangest wonders are often hidden right beneath the ice.